And good Tuesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is chilly right now. If you haven't cracked a door or went outside and let the dogs out, it's 42. Now, we're going to just about double that. It'll be 80 today for a high late this afternoon. But 42 is cold. I don't care how you shake that up. Well, it is for me anyway. There's some folks that walk around in 20-degree weather in short-sleeve shirts. I'm not one of them. Maybe you are. Good morning. I do hope your day is going well. Let's look over at radar, and let me just show you how great it looks this morning, because it is. As we pull this up today, we definitely don't have any rain as we look about this, as we see all across the great state of Mississippi, clean. Also that way in Alabama as well. A little bit of fog there in the northwest corner as you're getting up near Tunica and those areas, around Gadsden, Alabama a little bit. And way out here around Galveston, we've got a few showers in Lufkin, Texas, Tyler, Texas. Nothing big, nothing near us. We won't have anything to worry about until Friday. And as we'll get into that here in just a little bit, as the National Weather Service makes its prediction of what is coming on Friday of severe weather. Just a heads up on that. Weekend should shape up to be pretty good. If you've got an event on Friday, it might get wet, is what we're telling you. Let's see, as we get this day going, we got a lot to talk about what went on last night beginning at 7. I hope you'll join that. We got a few of the headlines that's shaping America this morning. Some of these just makes you think, where is America going? What is happening to us? We'll discuss that in just a moment. Right now, again, clear 42. Let's head out to Collinsville. Let's get us a message. I think JJ is going to be in this morning for Brother Ben. Tell us a story.
Growing up, I heard a story from my pastor once. During the American Revolutionary War, there was a wagon that had gotten bogged down in some mud. The commanding lieutenant was barking orders around to his men to get in the mud and get it out. But he himself was not willing to get down in the mud and do the work himself. After many attempts and no solutions, some more guys came by. They all jumped in to help, and with more bodies, they were able to get the wagon out of the mud and on its way. It wasn't until later that it was found out that one of the men who jumped in to help was George Washington, the commander-in-chief. Can you imagine the embarrassment of the lieutenant? He was not willing to get dirty, but the highest-ranking officer in the entire military was. So it's true for you and I that if we claim Christ, we must be willing to do the work He's called us to. In Matthew 25, Jesus mentions that there are goats and there are sheep. What was the telltale difference between the two? Jesus said the sheep clothed him when he was naked, fed him when he was hungry, and visited him when he was in prison. They were willing to do all the work that they were called to do. The others, they did none of these. And then they asked, hey, when do we see you naked or hungry or in prison? But Jesus says, hey, whatever you've done for the least of these, those who can't give back, you've done for me. We cannot claim to know Jesus if we're unwilling to follow him. Just like George Washington got down in the mud, Jesus came and put on flesh and got in the mud of humanity to save us. James tells us that pure and undefiled religion before God the Father is this, that we help the orphans and widows and we keep ourselves unspotted from the world. So my question to you is, are you willing to do the work Jesus has called you to? Remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Big thank you. Great message as always. Don't forget, tomorrow night they'll have a service for you there in Collinsville. It begins at Wednesday night services, and then again on Sunday. It will be great. I do hope you can drop in and visit with them. Great folks. You'll enjoy yourself. Well, as we look at the time, 6:35 this morning, as we start looking at what's going on around America, again, as we look at this, I'll just tell you plain out, Disney, as we know, Ron DeSantis, or DeSantis, however you pronounce his name, has been having, a feud with him. They're doubling down as they will have their first ever Pride Night where Mickey and Minnie will be dressed in Pride colors. Now, again, this is for kids, Mickey and Minnie. Just thought you might want to know that as we pull across here. We see our next headline that is shaping America this morning. Colorado becomes the first transgender tourism state. The Democrat governor has signed a bill that will allow children to travel for puberty blockers, even if the drugs are banned where they live. Colorado. Shaping America, isn't it? As we go further into details this morning, as we look around, Brantley Gilbert, the latest, he's a country singer, is what they say. I don't think it's really country, but they claim it is these days. He's throwing Bud Light out. It's off of his tour. As we go further into that, DeSantis says Anheuser-Busch is no longer his choice. He's getting rid of Bud Light. Those two are against those. And again, this is the main companies. As we look at other headlines this morning, as we see Trump, he's got 4 more that have stepped up and said we're going to support Trump. 4 GOP candidates that will be backing him. We got some from Florida, Greg Stube, Bill Hagery, John Rose, and Diana Harshbarger. All are endorsing him as he takes his bid for that. And by far in most states, he's still leading on all that. In Ohio, the rural portion of Ohio seem to be taking things a little bit different as they arm their staff to where they're not going to allow people come in to take advantage of their schools. It says they will no longer be assault on targets and be unprotected themselves. Could be a trend. We'll see what becomes of that. Jesse James Decker, and I only know her. I didn't know that she was even a singer there for the longest, but she does. Odie, do you know that she does like those workout equipment, sells all that, and does the stuff on the beach? You know who I'm talking about?
Not right on.
Well, I'll look up one of those videos, and she comes on and she goes, "Hey, I'm Jesse James Decker," and she's on the beach, and I think she runs, and it's kind of like the Bo Derek scene or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, she's mad at American Airlines. Her sister was on there, and there's got to be more to the story than meets the eye. Her sister was on a flight with a small child. The child was eating popcorn, and some popcorn fell on the floor, and supposedly the airline stewardess made her clean up the popcorn from the floor. She's not real happy about it. She looks as though, well, that was the airplane's responsibility to clean it up. We'll see what becomes of that. Those are a few of the headlines that are shaping it up. We also will talk a little bit more about this Florida thing with when it comes to Disney, as DeSantis threatens them. Mess with me and I will build a prison next door to you. Said that yesterday. As it goes back and forth where they don't want to be governed by the state, they want to rule themselves. Gets deeper and deeper there. We'll follow all this and let you know what becomes of that. Good morning. It's already 6:40. Can you believe that? Put a smile on. We'll get through this together. We'll be right back with your forecast.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As Anitra says, they keep pushing you and keep pushing you. And if you don't support what they believe in, well, then you're the bad person. That does happen in America, doesn't it? Good morning, Janice Bounds. Good to see you there. Charlotte Gray is up watching from Philadelphia. Teresa says that, good morning. Y'all have a blessed day and continue praying for the world, but America as well. It does need a little bit there. Morning, Jerome. How are you? We got a lot of stories of what's gone over the last 24 hours here locally. And we'll also touch on some national headlines this morning beginning at 7. Things that matter to you matter to us, and that's why we tell them to you. We got all that shaping and coming here in just a few moments. So don't rush off. Be back in 15 minutes if you've got to run somewhere. All right, let's get into the forecast this morning and see what Mother Nature has to bring for us.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Well, we are setting for nowhere near the record high. 2006 is a high of 92 today. 80 is going to be the best that we can do today on that thermometer. The record low was set in 99, record low of 33. Can y'all believe that's been 24 years ago? Ho, 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 we're getting old. 24 years ago. As we look at sunshine today, 80 in Meridian, 79 of you folks in Philadelphia. And as you get into the Columbus-Starkville area by the Air Force Base, about 81, a tad warmer. To the south, warm in Hattiesburg at 80. Natchez, we'll see about 78. As we cut across and go to Bama, we're seeing 80 in Demopolis, and we'll see 80 right there in Livingston, 81 in Birmingham. May even see some roll tide reach 81 also. Now, here's our next system that we have coming. As we mentioned, severe weather is the possibility on Friday. Now, as you can see this, it's a guessing game because we're really too far out. They're trying to be the best wording of this they can as we look at the National Weather Service saying mainly Friday morning through Friday evening. That's a large timeline. They haven't defined it yet is the reason it's said that way. As we see, the meridian right now is at a level 1, but just to the northwest of here, from Newton over to Lawrence and these areas northward, all of Neshoba County is under a level 2. And northwestern Kemper County, as we look at this will put Cypress Mills, this will put 493, 495 in that area, and then on up right up the middle there towards Sugarlock and taking in Macon areas of being a level 2. The east side of Noxubee and Kemper County will be a level 1. Clark a level 1 at this point also. But again, we are sitting at Tuesday. This is Friday. There's a good chance that, well, all of this could change. We'll let you know all of this as it gets closer. Now, as we look at our temperatures, the 6 to 10 day outlook, we are a little bit cooler right now as we see this all across here to the east, with Mississippi being cooler. Out to our west, we see a few things shaping up in California moving our way, which brings us to that 7-day forecast. Wilson Saw and Outdoor tells us high today 79 to 80. By tomorrow, we're even a little warmer, 83. Look at Thursday, 85. And by Friday, we get those thunderstorms. 83 is the high on that. Now, it's not a big portion of what we've got coming on with 40% chance of rain showers, but we are expecting severe weather with this. Over the weekend, cooler on Sunday. Look at that, 66. Might have a shower or two as well on Saturday. We'll see how this shapes up for the 3-Foot Festival. We certainly hope that it bails back. 30% is not that. It means it's 70%. It could be sunshine. Let's look at the good side of that. As we look at those temperatures all the way through May the 2nd, low 70s there through about the 27th, and then we start seeing the temperatures rise by the 28th. By May 1st, we're sitting at 77, 78 on May the 2nd. Doesn't it sound odd to say it's May? I really thought Christmas was last week. Okay, maybe 2 weeks ago, but come on. It's flying. As we look at our fishing forecast, what happens? Chet tells us to hit the water today around 11 o'clock. Be there till about 1:15. You can stretch it to 1:30. You might catch you extra fish there. Brim might be biting. That's how it's all shaping up. Now, we have a light south wind becoming southwest 5 to 10 in the morning is what we're expecting here on the temperature side today as we look at all this. Jeff Lewis, good morning. Glad to see you there. Barbara Cullum joins us there. Morning. Donna, how are you? Good to see you as well. And Pat and Jim Coker, a few of the folks that are with us. Now, we're going to be back in roughly 15 minutes. We'll go live. We want you to be a part of it. Join us here, Facebook, YouTube, and then we'll be live as well on television. Whichever way you can watch us, join us. Be a part of it and comment with us. All takes place here in just a few moments. We'll see you then as we begin this Tuesday. Let's see if I can hit the right button. We'll be right back beginning at 7.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: